Ohio prepares for the largest military exercise in state history. One is dead after an explosion in Kentucky, and later on, a look into how to protect yourself from a potential data breach. Newswatch starts right now. Welcome to Newswatch, your source for all news impacting southeastern Ohio. I'm Allie Eldridge. Thanks for joining us. A number of southeast Ohio counties will be involved in the state's largest ever military exercise. Vigilant Guard 2019 is a nationwide military and emergency response training exercise with training scenarios set to take place next week in 11 counties across the state, including Athens, Washington, and Guernsey. Major General John Harris is the Ohio National Guard's Adjutant General, meaning he serves as Governor Mike DeWine's principal advisor on all National Guard procedures. Harris says the exercise will be a challenge for everyone involved.
We'll have 850 guardsmen, total of about 3,300 total participants, which is a pretty significant exercise, but also in terms of complexity, we'll have multiple venues with multiple disasters, multiple events going on at the same time. So that challenges our command and control systems, the ability to partner with our mission partner agencies to provide the right resources in the right places at the right time. So it's going to challenge us for sure.
But military and emergency responders will not be the only ones tested next week. David Shahady is the Air Force's Director of Small Business Innovative Research. He says Vigilant Guard is a chance to test equipment from smaller companies to help them improve.
It's a really great opportunity for those small companies who really, they're not going to be able to get access to first responders or warfighters. Really gives them a chance to fail early, fail often, try your thing out. If it doesn't work, let's make a change, come back around again, try it again. And you know, from our perspective, that's a great development opportunity.
Vigilant Guard 2019 will last from August 5th through the 9th. Ohioans should expect to see an increased amount of military personnel during these days. There's a new route for Athens Public Transit. As of today, the county now offers 2 buses that will take residents to the western areas of Athens County. Newswatch reporter Kaylin Martin is live in the newsroom with more. Kaylin?
Thank you, Ali. The newly launched bus lines that start at Ohio University Baker Center will now transfer residents to Albany and Nelsonville. According to the Athens Public Transit, one bus has a 7A sign that takes riders to Albany locations, and the other bus has a 7N sign for the Nelsonville locations. The new route, which is funded through a variety of social service agencies and Athens commissioners, is expected to provide transportation for up to 20,000 residents. As of now, the 2 routes have enough funds to run for the next 6 months. Bus driver Josie Taylor hopes that today's newly introduced lines will be the first of many.
With us providing a valuable service to the community here in Albany and Nelsonville, I hope that our ridership continues to grow and that we're able to provide, reliable transportation to those who can't afford a car or can't get back and forth to doctor's appointments. I hope in the near future that maybe we'll have more buses and more drivers to provide for other communities that are surrounding Athens that are in the same type of need that Albany and Nelsonville currently have.
It is free to ride the bus today, but on other days it will cost $1, and if you are a student, you can get on for free with your Bobcat Pass. Back to you, Allie.
Thanks, Kaylin. If you still have back-to-school shopping to do, this is the weekend to do it. Ohio's annual sales tax holiday is this Friday through Sunday and offers a sales tax exemption on certain items. A tax exemption applies to clothing items priced at $75 or less, as well as certain school and instructional supplies costing less than $20. The Department of Taxation says as long as the individual items are eligible, there is no limit on the amount of the total tax exempt transaction.
Welcome to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm your forecaster, Blake Cardesty. At the moment around the Athens area, looking at 82 degrees at the moment. pretty humid outside at the moment. Looking at 65 degrees, that's going to be increasing due to the showers we had earlier today, and that still going on at the moment. We do have some storms in the vicinity at the moment. I'll get to that in just a second. But around the region, looking at similar conditions around most of the area. 84 over Marietta, 85 degrees at one spot down in Ripley and Ironton, and 81 degrees up in Cambridge. We all have a chance of seeing some thunderstorms in the evening. In particular, this storm at the moment, take a look at radar at the moment. Over here in between Jackson and Chillicothe, we have some heavy rain showers over this area. We actually do have a couple severe thunderstorm warnings around this area as well, going over into Vinton and Ross counties. So if you're in this area, make sure you watch out for heavy rain showers and watch out for ponding on the roadways, and be careful out there as you go out driving about. And if we take a look at freeze-up most of the area, we do have some more storms and showers popping up around the area. So those storms are going to be moving out of the area quite soon. I'll got my full forecast. I'll let you know when we're going to have those storms wrapping up for the night.
Thanks, Blake. Cell phone video captured a massive gas explosion in Junction City, Kentucky. The explosion overnight killed one person and damaged multiple homes. Emergency management officials believe the explosion was the result of a rupture of a 30-inch gas transmission pipeline. It took firefighters hours to put out flames after trucks repeatedly had to refill their tanks.
The part of the area that has been compromised, there's just nothing left. So the residences that are still standing or damaged will be accessible. There doesn't really look like there's any in between back there. They're either destroyed or they're still standing.
According to WKYT meteorologist Chris Bailey, the explosion was so massive it showed up on a radar. The governor of West Virginia is again under scrutiny over unpaid taxes. Records show Governor Jim Justice's companies owe almost $2 million in delinquent taxes in Virginia. WDBJ reports the Republican governor owes $1.9 million in taxes to several Virginia counties. Justice lists more than 100 businesses in his most recent financial statement, including coal, timber, and agriculture companies. A Justice family representative told the station the companies have been in contact with the counties to resolve the issues. West Virginia University is banning electronic cigarettes and vaping products approved in February. The ban took effect today. E-cigarettes and vaping products will be allowed at large athletic events. 5 Columbus police officers are facing departmental changes for arresting adult actress Stormy Daniels. She was arrested after her performance at a strip club last year for reportedly violating a no-touch law. But in a video released Wednesday, the Columbus police chief said it was the officers who crossed the line.
I made this decision because these officers violated our rules of conduct. The range of discipline for these officers can include a reprimand, a suspension, demotion, and/or termination.
The final decision about the officers' punishments will be made by the city's Director of Public Safety. The charges against Daniels were dropped just 12 hours after her arrest. She later sued the officers, claiming they targeted her because she embarrassed President Trump. The lawsuit demanded more than $2 million in damages and compensation. We have more on the story today of Ohio Valley Dove Release's owner Pete Thompson and his birds. I went to talk to Thompson at his home about his homing pigeons, and among other things, I found out just how these birds always find their way back to their little loft in Athens.
They each have a little smartphone. They have to get their phone out, and I can only release them where they've got good cell signal and that sort of thing.
He's only kidding. Thompson explained that it's a little more scientific than that.
They have a mineral in their brain cells called magnetite, and it has a magnetic attraction with the ore deposits that are in the soil. The different levels of iron and manganese and different minerals that have a magnetic attraction is like a fingerprint. It's very unique and distinct to a particular acre of ground. Somehow they feel a magnetic attraction back to their home loft.
Thompson says depending on the event, it can take the birds anywhere from a few hours to a whole night to get back to the loft. He says he's had this particular flock since he retired in 2013, and according to Thompson, only a few of his birds have never returned from a release, and it's hard to say why.
I might lose 2 or 3 a year, and you never know if a hawk gets them, or they fly into a high-tension power line, or they just get lost.
Although Thompson goes all over the state, he says he does a lot of his releases here in town.
Like the Copperheads baseball game, I'll take right after the national anthem. We release 15 or 20 birds from the pitcher's mound, and Veterans Day, memorial services and that sort of thing. I'll take them to daycare centers, nursing homes. They're real popular with those folks.
Doves, pigeons, and rock doves are the same species. They can reach speeds up to 55 miles per hour, and flights as long as 1,100 miles have been recorded. Later on in today's show, how to protect yourself from a data breach. And after the break, the Fed dropped interest rates. What does that mean for you? These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
This is a box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
I loved Ken Burns' series on the Civil War. It was deeply impacting. I love history. To have those stories told through these letters, through stories of love and loss, it rewrote the book on how to tell a story. When television was invented, there were a lot of people who had dreams about what it could do. I think PBS still aspires for and often succeeds at reaching the highest ideals of what television could be.
The interest you'll pay on everything from home loans to credit cards is now lower than it's been in a decade. This after the Federal Reserve made a big cut to interest rates, but it didn't boost stocks and got a fiery reaction from President Trump. Reed Binion has more.
We decided today to lower the target for the federal funds rate by 1/4 percentage point to a range of 2% to 2.25%.
The Federal Reserve cutting interest rates for the first time since the financial crisis in 2008. But after Fed Chairman Jerome Powell said not to expect further rate cuts, the Dow plummeted, losing as much as 450 points, before rebounding slightly to close more than 330 points down. President Trump, who's been a notoriously harsh critic of the Fed's reluctance to cut rates, tweeted, saying he hoped, quote, "This was the beginning of a lengthy and aggressive rate-cutting cycle, which would keep pace with China." And slamming Powell, saying, quote, "As usual, Powell let us down, but at least he's ending quantitative tightening, which shouldn't have started in the first place. No inflation."
We never take into account political considerations. There's no place in our discussions for that.
Financial experts say for Americans, the rate cuts can go either way.
The people that are going to love this are folks that are going out and getting mortgages. And on the flip side, people that are really hurt by this are folks that are nearing retirement or in retirement, because for years they've been waiting for interest rates to go up so that safe money gives some sort of return.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Justice Department officials have decided not to charge former FBI Director James Comey with a crime. That's according to a source familiar with the matter. The Inspector General's office referred him for a potential prosecution for his handling of memos that the FBI later determined contained classified information. But prosecutors declined to prosecute Comey, in part because they didn't believe there was evidence to show Comey intended to violate laws on handling classified information. An attorney for Comey declined to comment on the story. Over-the-counter heartburn meds may harm just as much as they help. That story is still ahead.
Our storms are going to be ending pretty soon, and we'll have a humid couple days ahead. I have more details about that in the weekend forecast next on Newswatch. But first, here's a look at stocks of local interest.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at woub.org. And thank you.
I loved Ken Burns' series on the Civil War. It was deeply impacting. I love history. To have those stories told through these letters, through stories of love and loss, it rewrote the book on how to tell a story. When television was invented, there were a lot of people who had dreams about what it could do. I think PBS still aspires for and often succeeds at reaching the highest ideals of what television could be.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse. TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
Welcome back to the Newswatch Weather Center. At the moment, in Athens, looking at 82 degrees. That temperature is actually going to be dropping fairly quickly around the Athens area at the moment. Since we came on the air, temperature has dropped down to 75 degrees at the moment, so it's cooling down very fast out there. In part of these storms that's in the vicinity at the moment, those are helping us cool down the temperature quite a bit. We'll have northeast winds tonight of 0 to 5 miles per hour. I would take a look at precipitations. These are the rain showers that are going to be moving through the area. These pop-up showers are going to be passing through the area and will be dissipating into the overnight hours tonight, right around midnight or so. So between now and then, you might have a few thunderstorms around the area, a couple downpour or two as well. So if you're out driving around, make sure you use caution as you go out and about tonight. Around the region at the moment, 82 degrees in Athens, 85 in Ripley and Ironton for warm spots, 81 degrees up in Cambridge. We all have the chance of seeing those scattered storms throughout most of the evening tonight. I would take a look tonight in Athens, 66 degrees. Lingering storms are going to be possible. Like I said, those are going to be moving out right around midnight or so. 98% humidity at the moment. For tonight. That's going to be pretty humid out there, pretty sticky evening out there. We have north winds of 0 to 5 miles per hour. Around the region, we have similar conditions, 67 degrees in Marietta, 66 here in Athens, 67 in Ironton and Ripley as well, and 63 for a cool spot up in Cambridge under those stormy conditions out there. But as we take a look, and tomorrow morning, 68 degrees. It's going to be patchy foggy out there because of all the humidity out there. So if you're out driving around, be careful of those blind turns. Might be a little foggy out there. Warming up to 82 degrees by noon. 75% humidity. It's going to be a really humid day out there. We're going to be ranging anywhere from 60 to 80% for most of the day tomorrow. So it's going to be very muggy. 86 degrees by 4 p.m. And we'll again have those evening showers possible for the evening time because of all that heat and humidity. We take a look at precipcast tomorrow. Clear skies for most of the day out there, for most of the day. Those showers and thunderstorms are going to be moving in tomorrow evening, as you can see by precipcast. These showers are going to start around kind of the same time we had today, around 4 or 5 p.m., and they'll be lasting through most of the evening. Nothing really too severe. Those showers will be maybe some downpours at the time, but again, nothing too severe. Tomorrow around the region, 87 degrees in Marietta, 88 in Ripley and Ironton, 85 in New Lexington, and 85 up in Cambridge as well. Sunny for most of the day out there once that fog does eventually burn off. Saturday in Athens, 85 degrees. Because of the humidity, we have a heat index that's going to be pushing 90 degrees, so make sure you take frequent breaks if you're outside. Stay hydrated out there. We have humidity ranging from 60 to 80% on Saturday as well, so we're going to have a humid couple of days out there. It's pretty muggy for the next couple of days. Sunday, 87 degrees for the end of your weekend. 87 degrees, still pretty humid out there, and that humidity will continue into Monday. 87 degrees on Monday and Tuesday. Plenty of sunshine out there. 88 degrees on Wednesday. Cooling down a little bit, about 84 on Thursday. Allie?
Thank you, Blake. When we get heartburn, we're accustomed to getting relief from over-the-counter, even prescription drugs. Well, it turns out that some of these medications may cause allergies. Britt Conway explains in today's Health Minute.
You've just finished your favorite Italian dish, but now heartburn starts to set in. No worries, just grab some over-the-counter antacid to relieve those symptoms. But when we do that, we might end up causing another problem: allergies. That's according to a new study from the medical journal Nature Communications. Because our stomachs have a delicate balance of acids and enzymes, some antacids can throw off our immune systems, triggering an allergy that wasn't even there before. Though it's not entirely understood how these medications may contribute to allergies, the research shows antacids can disrupt normal stomach functions for digesting food, even the immune system, which potentially causes another side effect. Antacids have also been linked to increased risk of stroke, kidney failure, and early death. So experts suggest that some people should avoid them, or just stop eating foods that you know are gonna cause you heartburn. For today's Health Minute, I'm Britt Conway.
Facebook takes a stand against potential interference and a look at what to do if you are a victim of a data breach, next on Newswatch. Thanks and stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
A box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse. TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at woub.org. And thank you.
Earlier this week, millions of Capital One customers were alerted to news that their private information may have been exposed due to a data breach. Meredith Wood explains what you should do to protect yourself in today's Consumer Watch.
Safely securing your data online. It's a problem that's getting worse, according to the Federal Trade Commission. The latest data breach targeted around 100 million Capital One customers in the U.S. and 6 million in Canada. A 33-year-old female hacker from Seattle is now in custody. The company says it's unlikely the information was used for fraud. They also say that no credit card numbers or logins were compromised. But if you're a Capital One customer concerned that you may have been affected, here's what you should do. First, check your email. The company notified its customers of the data breach. They will offer free credit monitoring services to those who were affected. Check your accounts. Look at your statements for suspicious activity. If you find something odd, you should freeze your card.
If they've been impacted by the data breach, if they had their information stolen and they lost dollars in some way, they should let my office know. That helps us look at whatever potential next steps are most appropriate for my office to take.
And if you find suspicious activity, you can also freeze your credit. This ensures that no one will try to take a loan in your name. It also means that no one can access your credit report. So if you apply for a loan, you'll have to unfreeze your credit. And once you get credit monitoring, you should turn on the notifications so that all activity under your ID will be sent to your inbox. For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Meredith Wood.
Facebook takes a stand against election interference. Today, Facebook announced it took down hundreds of accounts linked to Saudi Arabia. Accounts they say were part of a covert influence campaign. The pages were designed to look like they were created by legitimate news outlets. The fake pages created posts portraying the Saud government in a positive light. Together, they had more than 1 million followers, though it isn't known how many of those are authentic. Facebook shared its findings with law enforcement officials. You may want your potato served with bacon, but the TSA is skeptical of Bacon's potato. Actor Kevin Bacon shared a photo of a sweet potato officers flagged in his carry-on during a recent trip. He told The Tonight Show's Jimmy Fallon he just grabbed the spud without thinking, so he could enjoy it after his 5-hour flight. According to the TSA, it's perfectly fine, to pack fruits and vegetables in luggage, but officers have authority to inspect anything that appears suspicious. Bacon joked about the incident and said he doesn't blame the officers for flagging the unusually shaped route.
Well, right now in Athens, tonight in Athens, looking at 66 degrees overnight tonight. We do have some showers and storms in the vicinity at the moment. A couple of them could be severe, so if you're under a severe thunderstorm warning around the area, make sure you take shelter and be careful if you're going to be driving around outside. Those storms will be moving out of here by around midnight tonight, and we do have humidity right around 98% tonight, so it's going to be a very muggy evening out there tonight. Tomorrow in Athens, warming up to 86 degrees. Could be a little bit of a foggy morning out there tomorrow morning. But those foggy areas will be burning off as the sun comes out and giving way to plenty of sunshine for most of the day out there tomorrow. We could have some evening storms out there, just like we had this evening, because of the heat and humidity out there tomorrow, fueling those storms. So be careful tomorrow evening as well. But as we take a look at the 7-day forecast, 85 degrees on Saturday, and beautiful sunny weekend for the entire weekend, 87 degrees on your Sunday. Monday, 87 degrees as well, and into your Tuesday, hot 88 degrees on Wednesday. All these days are going to be pretty humid. 84 degrees on your Tuesday. Going to be pretty nice, hot and humid. Just getting into the dog days of summer, golly.
Well, at least it's not raining.
At least it's not raining. It's got lots of sunshine out there. But make sure you've got the sunglasses.
Yeah. Well, that does it for this evening's newscast. Thanks for watching. I'm Allie Eldridge. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at woub.org. Have a great night.